Prepare yourselves. I'm about to defend crypto. Look, last week tonight, Bill Maher did a segment on cryptocurrency, which was so bad, so embarrassing, and simultaneously so smug that not only do I have to address the problems here, I also feel like I owe it to everyone to point out that Bill Maher is misinformed about every new technology that he's talked about.
Finally, new rule, and finally, new rule, nothing with crypto. And the title ever turns out good.
Now, if you don't know who he is, Bill Maher is a comedian specializing in politics. He runs a successful show on HBO, but he suffers from a chronic case of smugness. Now, it takes one to know one. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I suffer from an acute case now and then. But this guy takes it to another level. Like, he's like every first-time vegan who becomes insufferable for a few years while they think that they're instantly superior to other humans because they don't eat meat. But Bill's like that with like every topic. And usually this is fine because he's a comedian, so he's funny enough to get away with it. But the chronic smugness becomes a problem when he talks about things he knows nothing about, which turns out to be a lot of the time. So before we get into the crypto comments that Bill made and I do the unthinkable and defend cryptocurrencies, let's take a look down memory lane, okay, at some of Bill's older takes on new technology to get a glimpse maybe of where we're going.
New rule. Stop giving me that pop-up ad for classmates.com. There's a reason you don't talk to people for 25 years. Because you don't particularly like them. Besides, I already know what the captain of the football team is doing these days. Mowing my lawn.
Yeah, guys, who would want to reconnect with people that they haven't seen in 20 years? Couldn't imagine a giant conglomeration coming out of that. A giant social media organization, the likes of which we've never seen before. Surely Bill Maher is right about this one. This social media thing is a thing of the past, never will catch on. Yeah, Bill was one of these social media skeptical guys who didn't think it would catch on, didn't think people would want to connect. Why connect with your fellow human? Yeah, this one was a complete disaster, but of course, it gets worse. He also thought that camera phones, oh man, how are those gonna catch on?
I don't care that your phone takes pictures. It's a phone, not a Swiss Army knife. Great, now the annoying camera buff and the annoying cell phone prick can merge as one guy. Hey, if you can figure out how to make that camera phone play country western music real loud, we could call it a perfect storm of assholes.
Can you say camera phone in any more of a condescending way? But I gotta admit, look, he might be right on this one, because many years after this colossally stupid take, posting a picture from his camera phone, Bill Maher did seem to be right that maybe it is the perfect storm of assholes. But look, maybe you think that I'm just giving you old examples. I can give you fresh ones too. Look, here's Bill's take on people watching esports.
You think I'm out of it because I'm not on Twitch? Well, maybe I get Twitch, but I just think people watching other people play video games is a waste of time.
Holy bad take, Batman. I mean, this is ironic coming from a guy who likes baseball so much that he bought a stake in the Mets. And yeah, that's a random cheap shot against baseball, but I mean, you think I'm out of it because I don't watch baseball? I mean, maybe I get watching baseball, but I just think people watching other people play baseball is a waste of time. Wait, hold on. That didn't feel right. Thank you, my studio audience. Thank you for the reassurance, okay? It makes my self-esteem a lot higher now that you guys laugh at me. Okay, so now that the stage is set on Bill Maher's terrible takes on technology, now we can move to crypto, because this is what he said in a recent segment called Cryptocurrency Mania.
As far as I can tell, it's exactly the same as all the other cryptocurrencies because the whole thing is a joke. Do I need to spell this out? There is something inherently not credible about creating hundreds of billions in virtual wealth with nothing ever actually being accomplished and no actual product made or service rendered. It's like Tinkerbell's light. Its power source is based solely on enough children believing in it.
Hold on there with those relatable references there, Boomer. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be surprised that I'm defending cryptocurrency in the first place, because after all, I've called out the fact that probably 98% of all cryptos are going to be going to zero eventually, but it's actually entirely consistent with my opinion that can be true, and it also can be true that he has no idea what he's talking about. Because cryptocurrency is a new technology, and as with most new technologies, early iterations are going to be clunky, and there are gonna be a ton of scams. But you can't dismiss the whole underlying technology as fake funny money just because you don't understand it. Back in the early internet days, many people thought that the idea of the internet was just crazy, even late night hosts. But back then, they had the foresight to know that maybe they didn't know everything.
It's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell?
See, even though David Letterman is critical, he knows and admits that he doesn't understand the tech. Bill Maher, on the other hand, also admits that he doesn't understand the tech, but that must be because no one else does either.
I've read articles about cryptocurrency, I've had it explained to me, and I still don't get it, and neither do you.
Neither do you. Like, this guy has the strength of 1,000 Karens. He's got enough smugness to be the president of the PTA. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? Neither do you. Let's hear that again.
And I still don't get it, and neither do you.
Neither do you. Look, I'll admit it. Bill has one real argument against crypto besides the whole I don't get it thing that we're all laughing about here. See, his real point boils down to climate change and cryptocurrency's effect on it.
Bitcoin uses more energy than Netflix, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google combined. I mean, cars are bad for the climate, but at least they take you somewhere.
Now here, Bill actually has a point. Kind of. Bitcoin uses something called proof of work to establish consensus, which, to boil it down, is a super energy expensive way to verify transactions. Crypto mining has exploded in the last decade, and electricity use has gone with it, and people are rightfully skeptical of its long-term environmental impact. But what Bill doesn't understand is that many cryptos are moving or have already moved to a different consensus mechanism to combat this exact issue. It's something called proof of stake. Proof of stake allows you to vastly lower energy usage by changing the way you mine. Now, I'm not going to get too much into this because enough people have already done the job and done the research that Bill should have done before doing this video. It's really not the point of this video. The point is that smart people are already addressing this issue, which means that this big monologue moment at the end where he lectures anyone who cares about the climate and crypto and calls them all hypocrites, well, it means he's completely wrong about it.
Hip and progressive and big environmentalists. Bullshit. You're money-hungry opportunists, and you're not allowed to pretend you care about the environment. I know, melting ice caps can wait. Your Green New Deal involves cash. Social scientists call this cognitive dissonance, a disconnect between who you think you are and what you actually do. I call it being full of shit.
The holier than thou moment really doesn't land when you're that wrong about something, it turns out. Maybe we should finish our monologue here and try to be a little more accurate. But if I could boil this whole thing down, it really comes down to the fact that Bill Maher has a remarkable myopia when it comes to new technology. He seems to only be able to see it for what it is at that exact moment. He sees all the problems of crypto and labels the whole thing as fake funny money as a result. But what he doesn't see is what it could be. He's right about the fact that many current cryptocurrencies aren't going to make it. Just like the .coms, many versions of classmates.com are going to come and go. But there will be a facebook.com of the crypto era. And when that time comes, you're going to want to invest in it. So that's basically it. I hope this has made sense of the whole kerfuffle around Bill Maher and his hot cryptocurrency take, which is going to age like milk. If you enjoyed it, smash like and subscribe. Bit unusual for us to be defending you crypto boys, but listen, I know a cheap shot when I see it, so we're going to defend you guys. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I know what you mean. This ain't what it seemed. Nothing but a trick, trying to sell me on a dream, but that was where you lost me. smell the coffee.